So there's a big debate around whether or not in 2024 you should be creating digital products. And the points are valid, right? The points are valid. You see a lot of people out here with digital products. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's not. AI can create whatever. You believe that. And oftentimes, that deep-seated feeling of not wanting to create a digital product, a lot of that comes from the lack of experience from consuming one yourself, right? Like there are plenty of people who have never purchased a digital product themselves, or they never had a desire large enough to say, hey, like I want to invest in learning this thing or acquiring this knowledge or being a part of this community or experiencing this transformation. So since they've never gone through that journey, it's oftentimes difficult for them to think about what it's like to have other people go through that journey and pay them, so, and it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from a place of, of inexperience, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, they haven't felt it. They don't know what that's like, so a digital product is foreign to them. And so why get into an area where it already feels foreign to you, So one first step that I would say everyone should go through if you're going through that journey, that feeling, is to look for solutions for some of the transformations or problems that you want to solve and the transformations that you want to experience. Like, go and look for it. Look for it on social media. Look for it on search engines. Look for it in forums. Do a little bit of searching. Do a little bit of research. And try to find whether or not someone or a team of people have created a solution to the problem you're looking to fix. Look at the conditions associated with the conditions associated with that consumption. Look at their guarantee. Look at what they're promising. Look at what the return policy is, the refund policy, right? If they are doing their best to minimize the risk for you, I think it makes sense to use it as a means to say, hey, well, let me see what that process looks like. Let me see what it feels like to separate with money to now enter and gain access into this thing. And let me just check it out. You can look for something that's under $100. You could look for something that's, between 100 to 400. You could look for something that may have, like, let's say, a payment plan. Look for something that, like, the investment isn't gonna break you, right? Yes, there are programs out here where it is, $5,000, $10,000 to join these programs. Many of those programs, it's not that, it is expensive, right? That's expensive, but the majority of them have some type of monthly payment plan. So I wouldn't encourage you to get any of those. Look for some of the smaller ones, not the signature ones. Look for something that you can consume and hop into, gain access to, and just kind of test the waters, all right? Just test the waters. Now, after you go through that process, I think it's important to go out and now validate, based off of your journey, go and start to validate others taking a similar journey, but towards a solution that you could potentially create. All right. Now, what I mean by this is you would be creating sort of like some type of pre-launch or some type of like an initial ghost product. This is you at least starting to get into promoting something, but you're not promoting something that you already invested a ton of time into. I know a lot of people, when they're looking into creating digital products, it's not only the thought that they might have to invest, let's say, some capital. It may also be that they know that they have to invest a significant amount of time, right? So if you can If you can get a line of people that would say, hey, that is absolutely something that I would invest in, you can now essentially validate your idea before you even make the product. There's a guy, one of my buddies, his name is John Saunders. John is dope. I mean, there's literally nothing dope, nothing bad about this guy. Like, his brain is amazing, right? Like, he's dope. He came up with, so there's this guy, he's one of my buddies. His name is John Saunders. John's amazing. John came up with this like pre-launch questionnaire. And what he does, and this is what a lot of people are doing now, you create a document that outlines everything that you intend on having in a program. And you go out and ask people to complete a very simple questionnaire to get feedback about the program, to gain an understanding for what are some things that they may be looking for. How do you feel about this module? How do you feel about that module? If there was something you could add, what would it be? But one of the questions is this something that you would invest in? Now, just imagine you haven't created anything yet. You go out and you ask a ton of people, hey, is this something you would buy? Hey, give me some feedback. What's missing? What do you think would be some challenges? What are some things that you think would make it easier for you to be able to consume this information? You ask them all these questions, they answer it, and then out of, let's say, 100 people, 40 of them are like, hell yeah, this is something I would buy. Again, you haven't made this thing yet. Even if you were to close half of them, right? Like, let's say it's half of them, let's say it's a $500 program, right? 40 people say yes, they'll buy. 20 of them, like you could probably, let's say you close half of those who said, yeah, this is something I'd buy. 20 times 500 is $10,000. If you would have, let's say you spent 10 hours creating the program, you would have been getting paid $10,000. I mean, sorry, not 10,000. You would be getting paid $1,000 an hour to create something that has the positive upside to generate even more. I mean, so I don't think that this is for everybody. I don't believe this is for everybody, but I do believe that, like, we shouldn't hold ourselves back from creating and producing certain things because we've created this wall in our head that really isn't there, you know. So if that's you, I would say try to break down that wall. Try to figure out, you know, what it is that has the wall up in the first place. Surround yourself with others who will start to, you know, sort of not only challenge but also like push you towards taking action and acting on everything that you have to do in order to get some of this stuff launched. Because I mean, there's people out here making digital products about anything, but they're doing it very creatively, you know. So if you have any questions, as always, hit me up.